Well, hello again. Welcome to another video by AntiquesArena. My name is Walter O'Neill. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a UK reseller. I buy and sell antiques and collectibles, and I flip them for a profit. I buy from antique fairs, flea markets, auction houses, private, house clearance, you name it. I'll do it all. And I pick up some really interesting, unique, and wonderful items. Purpose of today's video is to show you what I picked up this weekend. I've been out to my local flea market and my local auction house, and I've picked up some absolutely stunning pieces. So shall we get started and show you what I bought this weekend? I'm going to save the best for last. I have got 3, maybe 4 really nice gems that I'm jumping up and down about. But for now, we'll start off with the working stock. Little bit of Spanish porcelain. I know all you can see is a box, but it comes boxed. So we have a porcelain plaque, the Ladro Society. Now, Ladro is a Spanish company, and you have Ladro and you have Neo. From what I understand, or my understanding of the factory is, the Ladro are the accomplished artists, the Neo are the up-and-coming artists. All the same company, just different departments, but big difference on prices. That is the Ladro, which is the better of the two, and it is in lovely condition, and it's the Ladro Society with the dove up here and the flower. Now, if you're a Ladro dealer or Ladro collector, that'd be a nice little thing to display the pieces as Ladro, because it is what it says on the tin, Ladro. Now, I paid £3 for that, £3 whole in this box. They're probably on eBay without the box for £10 or £15, £20, but I'll probably be putting £25 on that with the box. So that's a nice little buy for £3. Just working stock, but you know what? That's how you pay the bills. Next piece, I'm going to lose. My soon-to-be stepdaughter is absolutely mad on Harley Quinn, and we have the official DC Comics Harley Quinn mug. Love stinks. Brand new in the packet. I've opened it. That was £2. Now, I have had a little look on eBay, and believe it or not, they sell for that mug for £15. It's going to be going away as a little stocking filler for Liani for Christmas. That's a nice little thing for £2, brand new in the box. I couldn't leave it there. Talking about new in the box, we have another piece here. They had delivered in the box with all this paperwork, and they loved it that much they didn't even take it out of the box. To make sure I'm not showing anybody's address here on the paperwork. So we got all the paperwork here of Dunkirk. So we have the certificate. Let's show you the item first. We have an absolute beaut. It is a Royal Doulton porcelain or china tankard depicting images from Dunkirk 1940, the evacuation. So you got the battleground and all the ships and everything going on. It is a limited edition of 14,750, so it's not a very small number, but at the same time, worldwide, that's not a huge number. This is number 964 by Jeff Hunt. So there's all the information you need to know. As I've said, there's a certificate. There's all the paperwork, the history on the Dunkirk. I've even got, what's this? The Churchill quotes. Basically, if you want to order the Battle of Britain tankard, all the paperwork for that. And then I've got, I'm not going to show you this one, which is, let me just double check his addressing down there. You find a letter about, I think it's a veteran Dear collector, for 50 years, vivid memories of Montgomery and Rommel have been recounted in many stories of heroism, humor, courage, and camaraderie. Many books have been written giving controversial accounts of the Battle of El Alamein. Yet for all memories, the arguments and confusions remain inspiring event in the world history. Anyway, this goes on and on and on. So you have a thank you letter for buying it and telling you what it meant to them. It's just a nice little parcel. All the paperwork, the tankard. Cost me £2. Now I haven't looked it up on eBay. I know Royal Alton porcelains and things like that are coming down, but this should have a following. It's in mint condition. I took it out of the box again. That was the box they had it shipped to their house in. £2. Now, I would like to think a tankard like that, with all the paperwork in that condition, 1990, produced in 1990, so you're talking already 30-year-old. I had to look at the date. I would like to think it's £1 a year, 30 quid, I would like to think. But we'll see when I get on eBay and have a look. But if it doesn't, if they're not pulling much on eBay, then to be honest, I'll put this one in the shop. With all that history and paperwork and everything, it's a nice little thing. And I have a lot of military collectors coming in the shop. But it's not a lot of money for that. Next piece, we have a little silver-fronted address book. Telephone numbers, things like that. It won't have a lot of silver, probably 5 or 10 grams of silver on that, but it come in for £1.50. And it's got a nice little heart finial on the front. But for £1.50 for a little address book like that, it'll go out for a tenner, £10–12 in the shop. Failing that, the criminal, but the silver will come off and win my scrap box. Either way. We have another ice bucket. This is an alloy. I think it's aluminium. It certainly feels like an aluminium. There's my money bag from the weekend. It has a paper label, Brut Champagne. Nice little handled champagne bucket, or ice bucket. And again, it was £2. So cheap as chips. Moving on, I don't think a week goes by where I don't buy something coal mine related. That is a big seller for me. I know it's not massive in America and other things, but coal mining where I am is a big thing. And this next piece again comes with this original box and there's labels. And this is carved out of Welsh slate. So you got a nice piece of Welsh slate. So this has been mined in Wales locally. And then they have a piece of Welsh coal that they've actually carved. And what they've carved is the winding wheel and some miners walking around. And it's a really nice image. I'm hoping the light is enough. There you go. It's a real nice little thing. Crafted Welsh coal and mounted on slate over 400 million years old from the North Wales quarries. And it's the pit head is titled. So you got the winding wheel, the pit head, and the miners. It was £2 in its original box again. Now they don't pull fortunes. They pull about £12 to £15. But for £2, it's a nice thing again. You know, walk out the door, nice and cheap for local people to buy and just put on display. I think this is the last of my little cheapy pieces, and then I'm going to start showing you some of the better stuff. Let's double check. Yeah. So we have a bit of Kaiser porcelain. It's really nice piece. I don't know if you can see these flowers and that, absolutely stunning quality. It is signed on the base and stamped. So you have the factory stamp here, and you have the artist's signature up there. Now, unfortunately, these don't pull the money they used to pull, and it is stinking dirty. Just needs a bit of a clean. There was a time I'd get £40–50 for a vase like that. Once it's cleaned up tidy now, you're talking 20 quid, 25 quid. It's unglazed on the outside, so it's like a bisque finish on the outside, but it's real effective, real nice, attractive vase, to be totally honest with you. I do like I love the flowers, how subtle they are, but it's just nice. And that was £1. So they were all cheap as chips, and I mean really, really cheap, and I'm happy with them. They just work in stock. Walking out of the flea market, I bumped into a dealer I know, and I just said to him casually, "Do you pick anything nice up?" And he said, "Yeah, I've got a beautiful stamp box. You interested?" Of course I'm interested. I'm always interested. So we have solid silver, 19th century stamp box. Now this is fully hallmarked on the lid and on the body. It is London, 1898, and the maker's marks are the Goldsmith and Silversmith Company, William Gibson and John Lawrence Langman. That's the makers. Now, if this had been in brass, it'd have been worth £30 or £40, maybe £50 of the age. They get 20, 30 quid for reproductions. It's really nice. It's got a couple of early stamps set in the top there, just for effect. I have had a look on eBay, and the prices vary from £150 up to sort of £300-400 people asking. You can buy them with more compartments, and like 3 compartments, they sell in for like £200 or £300. I've paid a fair bit of money for this. It doesn't come in for nothing. I give £70 for the stamp box, but I rate it at about £150, £140, £150. So it should double my money on that. It's in lovely condition. The maker's mark is slightly worn on the body, but purely visible on the top, and the rest of the hallmarks are crisp. So it's a really nice piece. No restoration, no repairs, no damage. It's just a nice thing. I have no idea what it weighs. If anybody's interested, not that the scrap would even come into this, but the total weight, now bearing in mind it's got a little bit of plastic and that in for the stamp holder part and that, but it's 80 grams. Now, a piece of antique silver like that, I'd normally sell out at £2 a gram and take into account all the other bits that are not silver. I just weigh it up and I'd sell it for £2 a gram. So normally I'd put that out for about 160, but I still think about 150 is about a fair price for that. A couple of pound a gram. I know I've seen people up in London pricing up at £5 a gram. So I don't think £2 a gram is unrealistic for a beautiful piece of antique silver like that. Just found someone else cheapy before I move on. I've still got another 3 or 4 really fine lots to show you, so don't despair. I don't know how I missed these. They were hidden behind my rugby player. We have a pair of hand-painted eggs. These are real eggs. They're hand-painted and signed up there. Both of them are signed and painted. Now, the cases, believe it or not, that's glass. All glass and then silk around them. So, well, they're not very old. They're 20th century, but they're all covered in silk, mounted in glass, hand-painted eggs and signed, and they cost me £1.50. Now, they're not fortunes, they're really not. But I would like to think I'm going to get £10 to £15 an egg on them. The case is going to be worth close to that without the eggs. So, you know, it's got to be £20 to £30 there for the 2 eggs with the glass display cases, in my opinion, anyway. Right. The remaining lots now have all cost me a bit of money. Cheapest one being this, and one of my favorites, believe it or not, one of. So, what we got? It's 19th century. It's French, and we have a bronze panel depicting the crucifixion. So you got Mary, John, and Mary Magdalene. Good morning.
Morning. Morning, mate. I was in. No.
No, sorry.
All right, cheers.
Okay. So we got Mary, John, Mary Magdalene, kneeling and at the feet of Jesus being crucified. It's all in bronze. It's on this velvet backing, this carved, heavily carved frame with these floral panels. It's quite spectacular. Look at the frame. It's a domed frame. Do you know, to get this glass curved like this is a really expensive process. If this glass was broke now, you'd be selling it for 20, 30 quid. Just this frame alone, if you wanted to make the frame like this today, you're talking hundreds of pounds. You just can't get this glass done like this. It's not cheap. It's in beautiful condition. It's had a little bit of woodworm over the years, which is long dead. What can I say about it? It's beautiful. I absolutely adore it. I don't do religious artifacts that often. I really don't. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll splice images of some of the finer pieces like this at the end of the video. So if you stick around to the end of the video, you can see some real nice close-ups. So, yeah, value. Now, I paid £30, which, to be totally honest with you, is for nothing. Just a cross with Jesus on, you know, that people can stick up on a wall or something, or on a mantelpiece is like 30 quid. So you got the whole panel here, you got this panel at the base here. It's all one, but you know, to get this part at the bottom alone is quite unusual. I would think the panel itself is worth 40 to 50 pounds. The frame got to be worth 80 to 100 pounds. So you're talking 150 pounds to 200 pounds, in my opinion, for this, as you see it. That's where I see it anyway. I'm going to probably put £195 on this as a real nice, rare decorative piece. And just hope I can ship it to them without breaking this glass, because it would be a crime to break something so beautiful. And again, look at that. You just don't see frames with domed glass like that. Next piece was made, I'd say, about 7 miles down the road from me. And famous all over the world is the Grog Shop. Now, the grogs were done by John Hughes, started in Pontypridd, and it very, very crude. He made his molds and then he'd stuff his pottery or clay in them, fire them up and paint them. They'd done everything. They started off with the rugby players, but they'd done everything from Pavarotti to John Wayne, you name it, they'd done everything. And I just sell a lot of the little animals and sheep, and they always have a joke message on them or sarcastic message. But yeah, this one is of Davis the Dash. He stood there on the rugby ball. It's in lovely condition. There's the signature, John Hughes. Number 14. Now this is a big figure. This is 8.5 inches tall. But it cost me £100. It didn't come in for nothing. These large grogs, the early grogs, they just don't turn up. Occasionally one will jump on eBay and it'll go for 80 quid, 100 quid, something like that. But this one I see going out at about £150, no problem at all. It's going to be up on the website. I'll be putting it up on the website today. Now I filmed it, and it'll be going up for 150. And I guarantee you, it sounds a lot of money for a pottery figure, but this will not hang around for long. It's been a long time since I've had, you know, a nice early grog. So £100. But there's a good 50 quid, 60 quid profit on that, no problem at all. And it's something I can sell like that. So it won't be hanging around long. Right. Again, another expensive buy. We have, let me see now, a Georgian So you're talking George IV, or yeah, I'd say George IV or early William, 1800 to 1830. So that sort of period, or first quarter of the 19th century. And it's a tankless or decanter stand in a trifoil pattern, silver or Sheffield plate rather, and you have this beautiful mercurial cut, step cut deep bottles. Again, I'll put images of this at the end. So if you look here, you have these little rings to hold the stoppers. So the stoppers would sit in the little rings like so. It's in good condition. It's got a little, very minor bit of plate loss here and there, nothing major. There you go. It's a real nice early piece. This is pretty much 200-year-old. All the plate is there. It's in good condition. There's no dents. There's no damage. Just the tiniest bit of plate wear. The bottles are stunning. All beautifully sliced. Step cut around the top. Look at that step cutting. Little neck ring here, triple neck ring. Look at that stopper. Really, really nice. Now, they're all in good condition, bar one of these stoppers has got a tiny chip. That one. And hopefully you can see that tiny chip on there. Other than that, these bottles are in good condition. 3 bottles. And the plate stand, all in good condition. Now again, I paid £100 for it. But this is 200-year-old. This is well, I don't know whether you'd call it a tankless or just a bottle stand and bottles. I'm not 100%. Because a tankless, the idea of a tankless was it'd have a stopper across the top and it tantalized you because you couldn't get to the alcohol. But what a beautiful decanter set, maybe liqueur or something like that. It's quite special. It's 200-year-old. This is the perfect material for my website. And I can tell you now, it's going to be going up for $275. So there's a good £175 profit on this one. It'll take a while to sell, but I tell you what, you ain't going to find much better than that as a nice decanter set. Georgia IV decanter set. Absolutely spectacular. Again, I'll splice in some images of that if you want to see some images of that towards the end. Let me see before I go on. I got 2 more pieces to show you. I got to go down the other end and film off my phone for those 2, and I'll splice them in. Okay, so we got the last 2 pieces to show you now. I'm going to start off with this, if I can lift it. We got a large hand-thrown pot. That's my expert opinion. Okay. So it's handmade. How do I know that? Because of the shape, and you know, it's not perfect. You can see it's been done by hand. Let me show you this. It's not old. It's probably done in the last sort of 30-40 years, in my opinion. Could even be less than that, but it could be within the last sort of 30-40 years. It's hand painted, and it is absolutely massive. You're talking over 3 foot tall, 3.5, 4 foot tall. Let me see. Bear with me. 3 foot tall. It's in perfect condition. It's too heavy to keep out oiled up. Weighs probably 20 kilos plus. It is literally massive. Now, there's no maker's marks on there or nothing. I would assume it's been made in China or something like that and shipped out as a decorative piece. I love these flowers on there, and I like the colours, the green and the yellow. It has actually got some crackling or to the glaze from a little bit of age. So, and it's really thick. This glaze, coloured glaze that they've put over it, it's really thick. So I think, yeah, I think I'm on the right track thinking it's, you know, shipped over from China as a decorative piece. Cost me £6. Can you imagine making that for £6? Now I rate that anyway sort of between 50 and £100 just as a decorative lump. Just to find a vase 3 foot tall in perfect condition, hand thrown, hand painted. It haven't got to be that old of it, to be honest with you. It's just so decorative, and if I had a pair of them. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to struggle to get somewhere between £50 and £100. I'll do some research, see if I can find another. You know, I might be wrong on the maker. It might not be Chinese. But we'll see. But for £6, I'm never going to lose no money. Final piece. I had to remind myself of who it was. We have another 19th century percussion double barrel hunting gun. 2 triggers. So you got a double trigger. Real nice movement. Beautiful, beautiful gun. This is quite something. I'll put a couple of images in again at the end. Now this one is signed. It's Wesley Richards. Now I've done some Google research. If I stand here, you have a look by there, Wesley Richards. I found a couple of early guns. Now they've been making shooting or hunting guns, shotguns, since 1812. This one, I think, is around 1820, 1830, something like that. It's got its original ramrod, albeit the end of the ramrod is a bit rough, but it's got its original ramrod, which is nice to have. And it does have a little bit of damage. It's lost a little bit of the stock here, and a little bit by the trigger. However, if you're looking at those images, bear with me. However, if you're looking at those images I've just put up, they're selling anything from 800 to £4,000-5,000 a gun in Christie's in good condition. This isn't in good condition. This isn't boxed in mint condition, £4,000 job. However, I feel it's certainly £500 plus. The auction house sold this with no name attached. They just put it down as an antique percussion cap gun with one photograph at distance, like so people couldn't see what it was. Now a lot of the people who go to the auction, the local auction house I go to, they sell on eBay. They're not eBay dealers, so they can't sell something like this. I'm fortunate they got my own website, and I'm fortunate they got my own shop, so I can. Now whether you'd sell something like this for restoration, or whether they would just genuinely just have it and display it, you know, I don't know. But I guarantee you, if the auction house had put Wesley Richards in the title, I wouldn't have had it for the £130 I paid. It's such a nice gun, it's a nice balance, nice weight to it. Really is lovely. Apart from the little bit of loss on the stock, on there, you know, it's quite spectacular. You got all the scroll work on the bar where it's signed on both sides. I'm just surprised the auction house didn't take the time to catalogue it correctly as a Wesley Richards. I guarantee you, if they had, this would have gone up £500-600 in the auction house. People who deal in firearms would have found it. I done well on the last shotgun. I paid £90 for the last shotgun, sold it for £270 within a week. This one isn't actually coming in the shop. This one's going straight on my website. Just gutted about that bit of damage. If it didn't have the bit of damage, I tell you what, this would be a really expensive gun. But this one, you know, well, as you just saw, is all in lovely condition. So, you know, all free, not seized up. It's just a nice gun. Again, images will be on the at the end of the video of this, the Tantalus, and the French crucifixion, the display of the crucifixion. Okay, so you've seen the very large vase now that I picked up at the boot sale for £6. It's not old, but what a decorative lump. Do you know, if you was to make something like that yourself, can you imagine how much money it cost you just in the modeling clay to do before you fired it? Then you got to paint it. I wouldn't want to make something like that, you know. Cost-wise, I don't know, it's got to be sort of £50, £70 for it. A large decorative lump like that, got to be, even though it's not that old. And what do you think of that shotgun? Absolutely spectacular. No, the auction house made a mistake, and that's the only reason I got it at that price. But you know what? Their mistake is my gain. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed having a look at the weekend's haul. It is some spectacular pieces, and this is the type of stuff I want to be buying on a regular basis. If I can, pick some working stock up really nice and cheap, but go for the better pieces. Pay the money and have the better pieces. It's easier to sell. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.